Third time. Hello, chaps and chapesses, for the third time. YouTube, stop cutting me off. I don't like finishing incomplete sentences. Anyway, I was talking about pheasant tail nymphs. Yes, so quite often when the water is very, very low, you can actually end up upstream nymphing or even euro nymphing style. And it can be very successful with salmon. Whoever would have thought? But actually, we ended up catching quite a few salmon, which was quite bizarre, but very useful technique. I'm not going to talk on for too much longer because YouTube will probably cut me off again. But some of the things I wanted to cover, which are a little bit unique to Iceland, and a question that we get asked all the time with a lot of rods who we're going over there, disinfection. So disinfection, you do have to have your kit disinfected before you go to Iceland. Now, this used to be a thing that was checked. So you had to have a vet certificate. As you came, you would have that done here in the UK. You take all your tackle off to a vet who knew what was going on. They would then wash all your tackle in 3% Virkon solution. And then you would get a certificate, which as you went through Icelandic customs, you would be asked to produce. And if you didn't have one, then they would disinfect your kit and charge you right there and then on the spot, and then off you would go, which was all part of the process of going to Iceland. And with a country with such fantastic salmon fishing and salmon populations left, the last thing that they want is something like whirling disease or any of the other horrible Gyrodilactis salaris or any of those other nasty salmon diseases coming into Iceland. I mean, it would just ruin their whole salmon fishing economy. So the disinfection process is vitally important. Now, what happened during COVID was they could not dealing with COVID and dealing with disinfection. So what they did was, although it is still law that you have to have your kit disinfected before you go to Iceland or when you arrive in Iceland, you can't have it done at the airport anymore, which is relatively new. And someone may tell me differently, but this is as far as I understand it. And the master, the government, the organization who deals with the import of stuff like this into Iceland, I don't know the words for that. They put the emphasis on doing that back on the salmon fishing lodges for them to police and maintain themselves. So it is actually, you are not going to get stopped in customs and have your kit checked and have your certificate checked. And a lot of people who've had it done turn around and go, well, why the hell did I have it done if I'm not going to have it checked? Well, firstly, I think as a responsible fly fisherman, I do get a little bit on my soapbox about this, that this is one of those last bastions of Atlantic salmon, and we should make sure that we are being responsible fishermen, and you should disinfect your fishing tackle before you take it into Iceland. Now, that means anything that comes into contact with water, so that's rod, reels, lines, flies. I would recommend that you don't disinfect flies because they rust. So it's better just to take new flies, and any old flies that you have, you bin. And that's the way I've operated over there for a long time. Waders, wading boots, especially felt, because felt is not banned in Iceland at this point. But those kind of things you need to make sure are really well disinfected. And you can either go and do it with a vet in this country, which I'm afraid I still do, which will cost 50, 60 pounds per setup and kit and get it done. You can potentially do it yourself. You can get Virkon. And a lot of the lodges in Iceland will do it for you on arrival. There are 2 or 3 operators who do it regularly. And I think it's pretty vital. So in answer to your question, should I get my kit disinfected? Morally, I think, yes, you should. How do I do it? A lot of the lodges will do it for you on arrival. If they don't do it, why don't you ask them? Because they should, because then they might actually be protecting their fisheries. It's not difficult. It doesn't cost very much money. And I think it's quite important. So kit disinfection is one of those questions we get asked all the time. And because there is no straight answer anymore, it's quite a difficult one to navigate. But I hope that what I've said will be helpful in terms of advice. Logistics transfers in Iceland are blindingly expensive. There is no way around it. If you're going to hire a vehicle, it's probably cheaper to get hire cars these days than transfers. So the best thing to do is to make sure you're in groups so that you can actually break down the cost of transfers. And it's not just Iceland, it's the same for every Icelandic, every Scandinavian country. All of this stuff is blindingly expensive when it comes to vehicles, transfers, and taxis. So we do the best we can to manage that and to divide up the number of people per vehicle and to try and make it as fair as possible. No one is ever going to make any money on transfers by the way that we end up doing it, because we always end up losing money. So transfers are one of those other ones which is a little bit sticking, because someone will go, oh, well, I'll just take a different flight and I'll get a taxi up to the lodge, thinking, what's it going to be? 150 quid for, 2 hours in a car, 600. That's how much you're looking at. So please, when we recommend that you take certain flights, there is a reason behind that, and it's kind of important. Other than that, I think I'm going to cut while the going is good. I hope this has been useful, even though it has been a little bit broken up into 3 different parts. Maybe that's more manageable, I don't know. But if any of you have any questions about going fishing in Iceland, there are still some prime rods left for this coming season. If you would like to go, then please contact me or contact Alex, or just contact us in general. And if there is anything else that we can help with, then please just drop us a line, either in the office 01980-847-389 or mail@aardvarkmcleod.com, and we would be delighted to help you. I hope that we are all going to have a great salmon season. It is just around the corner. The anticipation is certainly building. The equipment pile is already beginning to stack up in the corner of the office. And we're really looking forward to this season. It seems like every season I just get the nerves and it all gets very exciting before we kick off. But early June is when things are going to start getting busy. And then as we move into prime time, hopefully the salmon gods will look down on us and beam their shiny smiles. So fingers crossed, tight lines to everybody, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all soon. As usual, if you enjoyed any of this, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Alex's live stream, which is next week, about Nicaragua, or any of our other destination videos. Thank you very much.